citrus. Each year I harvest, but this year I've had more land and produced just so much that I cannot just use it for my house. I have to give it away. These pumpkins you see here with the winter squash, and one is looking like another model. It looks like the king's crown. So I'm going to call them the king's crown. These are winter squashes. I'm not sure what variety this was, but it looks like the king's crown. And then we have the butternut here, which sometimes when they are young, they look like little buttons. But this time we let it grow to full size. When you cook them just like butternut squash. It's just so lovely, especially when you cook it savory with your chicken dishes or with your meat dishes. You throw them like in your stew. I have some here Swiss chard and a bit of the pumpkin leaf. We have some kale there at the corner and more Swiss chard. I just harvested some green tomatoes here. These are heirloom tomatoes. I was trying to see if they can grow in my patch, and they've grown really good. This is one of them, really large varieties. These are good to make salsa or fried green tomatoes for any meal to accompany it as a side dish. I have also here just a sample of the herbs that I'm growing. I have the Asian African basil, which is mostly used in the Thai cooking, Asian cooking, and in African cooking. And I have some thyme for your curries, and I have oregano here. But we have lots of these growing in the garden, and these are perennials and very good. I have just a little bit of sample of the hot peppers that I'm growing. There is jalapeno, there is Trinidad, a lot of heat out of this, and I just love heat. Below here it's more of the zucchinis. So these zucchinis, I've packed them to take them tomorrow to the main food bank because to keep them here will be just selfish and not necessary. Just to cap it off, this pumpkin here, there is more growing in the garden of this type of pumpkin. And this one here at the farm where I have a patch, I think to call it the way teacher calls it, she says the pumpkin patch. It's really not a small patch, it's real big. So we're gonna harvest a lot of them this fall, and there are still potatoes to come through. I am quite pleased with how the season has turned out. We started late. I wasn't here part of the 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks of June, but God is just amazing. To tell you how much effort I've put here, out of 10, it's like 3. To put the seed down and to do everything. All this is coming from a no-dig garden, except the zucchinis that are coming from the farm, where the farmer tilled the land for us. But for all these here, I do the no-dig garden, and I use a lot of straw, which is like grass and everything, to feed them. So I'm quite pleased with how I'm growing this. I call my garden patch the Garden of Eden, because I leave all the weeds and the fruit to grow together. So like yesterday, I went there. I'm not sure if it's tick bites or what, but I've been bitten. It went through my shirts, and yeah, I'm suffering from it. I had slight fever last night and not feeling very good today. So yeah, but that is the results of being a farmer. This thing here is going to be my lifeline. I intend to pickle. I've had jars. I'm going to pickle, excuse me a minute. I've bought jars to prepare for this week's pickling. I'll pickle some of the zucchinis and the Swiss chard. I'll ferment them and we can always have them at Christmas. I thank my sister for coming with me, my daughter and my son-in-law. They take me there and drop me, and some friends that work with me. But this is just giving me more energy and more life. And thank you, Canada, my country, land of